like we promised you, we're out here at Greenleaf Nursery, visit with Ken Pollock and Jim Thompson about some of the operations that's been going on here. And of course, it's been here for a long time. How many years have you been, not you, but the place here?
Yeah, just over 50 years.
And it was pretty tough in the beginning, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Incredibly tough, yes.
I know some of the people that have been around for that length of time talk about the bad freezing winter that pretty well froze everything out, and so it was, if you were wanting to give up, that would have been pretty easy for them to do at the time.
Absolutely. I've seen photographs of what the crop looked like in the first couple years, and it wasn't predictable quality like we have today.
Yeah, they were setting some records for the winter and for the cold. That's and right. Things like that, and something that was real out of the ordinary. I know winters have gotten more easier around here, but that was even a tough winter for back then. But they've recovered from it, and as everyone knows, is a thriving operation now, and big part of Cherokee County. And tell us a little something about Greenleaf for those that don't know much about it.
Well, Greenleaf Nursery is probably one of the top 5 nurseries in the United States as far as size and volume. We have 3 divisions. We have a division in Texas, we have a division in North Carolina, and we have this division here in Oklahoma, plus we have a growing operation in Fort Gibson, Oklahoma. So at this location, we're employing about 600 people on 650 acres of production. We're producing about 8.5 million plants each year. And corporately, we're probably looking at maybe 1,200 employees nationwide.
That's a pretty good operation, and everybody enjoys it in Cherokee County for what it's been, dependable, and even in tough times, why it's still been here.
You know, when you stop, Roger, and also think that when the nursery first started, it consisted of about 10 acres.
Yeah.
And of course, like Jim mentioned, it's growing steadily through the years, and it's...
Now, the 10 acres that were here originally, was that down by the headquarters, or where was the 10 acres that was here to begin with?
Yeah, it would be east of the main office, is where it started.
There were the big houses and stuff.
Right.
That's the area.
That's exactly right.
Before we go too much further, you are strictly wholesale, right?
That's correct.
So we don't want any of the viewers to say, well, they sold me, I'm going to go out there and get some, because how many retailers do you have around the nation?
We have approximately 3,000 retail customers.
Typical process is, I know this is your busy season.
Yes.
Kind of walk us through maybe that process, or even back to the point of, you know, we're standing in a field, in a big area of junipers here.
Right.
These didn't just jump here overnight, and they didn't just come up volunteer. Lead us through the propagation and the way that you move them around and various things like that, because it's a big process and pretty detailed.
It is a big process. We're proud that we do about 95% of our own propagation. We have control of the quality that way. If we do our own prop, a lot of nurseries buy prop from other people, and we do almost all of ours ourselves. These little plants start as unrooted cuttings, and basically we put roots on them, grow them for about a year or so, move them into a larger container, and then move them again into another larger container. You see this crop right here is probably, this crop's about 3 years old, maybe 4 years old, so it takes a little while to get them up to this size, this 5-gallon size.
Yeah. Most everything you have is vegetatively propagated.
Yes.
You don't plant many seeds of very many things.
Very few. Some trees to get our starts, basically, like red buds and things like that.
Those will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And as a general rule, we keep the plants, once they're propagated down in the propagation area, they'll stay down there for about one growing season, about 1 year, before they're then put out to the field in containers.
Yeah. So many things in horticulture, whether it's a pecan tree or whatever, has to be vegetatively propagated. And whenever you, I know Greenleaf Nursery has made a lot of improvements on what they've got on their own. Tell us a little bit about how that works. Do you just see something that looks better and then you propagate it, or what have you got going on in order to improve some of without giving away any trade secrets?
Well, I'll let Ken address that one.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say, as a general rule, when it comes to New varieties that we notice, well, a lot of times we'll try them out and put them in our research area and see how effectively we can grow them. A lot of times we'll consult our salespeople and ask them what they think the potential may be for sales. And so it's kind of a team effort in deciding what varieties we're going to grow and how many of each kind. So we do try to introduce any new varieties that we think that would be popular, to the public, and make sure we start growing as many of those as we think there's a need for.
So a new variety, before you do it, it has to show some disease resistance and some drought tolerance and just a number of things like that.
Right.
And then you buy some of the cuttings, or you get cuttings from what you've got?
We get the cuttings. We'll collect a plant that we like and think that it has some nice attributes. Then we'll do some extensive testing, make sure it's hardy, make sure it doesn't develop diseases, not prone to insects, and we'll move forward. Once we go through that process, and that can be a fairly lengthy process, it can be 2 or 3 years before we want to expand it, take cuttings, and move it into production. We have to make sure that it works with the way we grow in our climate also, as far as...
it needs to be tested in our environment.
Correct.
Because the situation here may be different than in a different part of the the nation. So,
okay, well, we're going to take a break here, and when we get back, we'll look at some of the rest of the operation.